What is up, everybody? It is time for TNA. Yeah, the review. The review. TNA for May 8th, 2015. Took us a little bit, but schedule's still a little bit busy for both of us. I feel like so. It's gonna take some time, kind of adjust to where we want to get, but that's all right. And the title says live TNA show. Yeah, it was a live TNA show, which is surprising for us TNA fans, I guess you could say, because it's been very, very taped for a very long while. So it was kind of cool to see a live show for once, where I could look on Wikipedia and not be like and shield my eyes and such, because of Wikipedia. Bad thing. Don't check it ever. But yeah, what do you think of it being live? I noticed some differences, at least with the commentary being like next to ringside. So that kind of showed us a little bit of a difference there. What do you think of the live show?
I like that the commentary was ringside, but I didn't like that Al Snow wasn't there. And I was like, wait, why is Al Snow not there? He's a road agent, so he has to be there. Why isn't he at they need to get that settled and get that figured out. And also they still have a couple issues with their live shows, just because they are used to recording, ahead of time. I felt like there was a couple points, like at ends of matches, where there were strange pauses and, kind of stretching things out a little bit. But besides that, I do like when they have live shows. It's more unpredictable. You're not gonna, like you said, you're not gonna go on Wikipedia and ruin it for yourself, unless somebody's returning or something like that. Then you could kind of ruin it a little bit for yourself. But all in all, it was a good show.
And I wish they would do this for the Impact theme shows. Because I feel like they do the live shows only when it's like the first episode of the taping. So if they would set it up to where the first episode of the tapings would be the Impact theme pay-per-views or whatever, that would be a cool thing. Because then it would make those live. It would make them feel special a little bit more. I feel like personally.
Yeah.
All right. So we got to pull up on this. That's all right. All this time. Yeah. Anyway, we started out. I'm pretty sure it was an EY promo, which is, was a thing. Obviously, with the main event being EY versus Kurt Angle. We heard there was no actual guest referee because EY was not happy about this. He was like, "What? Who is this fella? Who is this? I want to know who the special referee is. I want to know right now." He said, "Kurt, I beat you last week, and I'm gonna beat you again." And then we hear some music, some familiar music actually. It's the one and only Bully Ray. So I was like, "Oh, all right." And actually, what happened was I tried to watch it on a stream because I don't have the channel at my house, and I was like, "All right." I see Bully Ray. I'm like, "Oh my God, Bully Ray's back!" And then I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to my grandma's. I'm gonna watch it there, and I'm gonna be fine. It's gonna be completely fantastic. I was confused. Like, why is Bully Ray here? I don't understand. So then, I went back and I watched this promo, and I was like, oh, all right. And Bully Ray says, "Do you know who I am? I'm Bully Ray. I'm a special guest referee for tonight's World Heavyweight Championship match." I feel like it was missing something for some reason, because Bully Ray's little spiel was short, but I feel like he didn't understand why there was a special guest referee. It just kind of came up. I know I had saw something about a former world champion coming back, and I didn't know who it was. I didn't look it up or anything. So I think it's cool that Bully Ray's back, but is he back permanently or is he not? And I know I was telling Casey that about there was going to be a return, that I don't know how he was going to react to it, because I know he was expecting something different. So any thoughts on this first opening promo?
So pissed. So upset. I really, really, really wanted Bully or Bubba, whatever you want to call him, to have another run in WWE, even if it was a short one, especially after the fact that he was in the Royal Rumble. I felt like that was a waste for WWE to just pay for him for one night and then not get like at least a small run out of him, or at least do something like they're doing with Sting, where he's on a couple shows to get people back into WWE, because it is still a part of, and I think in TNA too, it's still a part where we're still trying to get out of the PG era, so that would help WWE get back to getting the hardcore kind of 90s 80s fans back into the show. But and I don't know if they're bringing him back to TNA for permanently, or if it was just a one-time thing, or what's going on with that. I hope they don't throw him in the title picture again, just because he's had the title at least twice, 2 or 3 times. I don't really need to see him with the title again. Out of guys who've had it multiple times, I would be okay with him getting the title again, but I don't need to see that again. I'm just not really sure what they're doing with him. But then again, they aren't having good luck with their talent right now, so they kind of needed to bring people in with things that are happening right now. We'll get into that a little bit later with a certain cursed title that we have in TNA.
All right, so next we get a video package basically on what's going on with the show. This is kind of flip-flopped a little bit, which I kind of like because it was different than what you would usually see. You usually see the video package and then a promo. This time I saw a promo then a video package, which was kind of cool. And I think the promo being kind of surprising kind of drew the fans in a little bit. Any thoughts on the video package?
It was cool. I didn't really write too much about it. It was kind of, like you said, flip-flopped, a little different, which, I mean, I like. I feel like TNA has been trying to do unique, different video packages and promos the past couple, months, especially with, like, groups like The Rising and the BDC, and then this one just to kind of, because it was a special show. It wasn't the usual taped show, so it was something special, but it wasn't anything groundbreaking, I didn't think.
Yeah, I agree. So next we got EC3 versus Mr. Anderson. But first, EC3 wants to say some words, so that's what you got to do. EC3 is, he got the talking down, so he got to say some words before he gets to the match. Come on, settle down. And plus, we got to have the whole poll to see which thing won. Arm wrestling match or the Falls Count match. So EC3 says there's a lot of energy in this building tonight. Something we have all been clamoring for a long time. Hashtag EC3 for champ. Yes, I agree. Anyway, now I have faith in the democratic process. I know you chose to vote for a gentleman's competition, arm wrestling. I sat in your seats, and God, I don't know what I sat in your seats meant. I guess that means that he was a fan one time, I feel like. Anyway, he says, God bless TNA Wrestling and God bless EC3. Mr. Anderson's music hits. He says, I'm sick and tired of hearing you run your jibs. Shut up. What do you think the people say? And he does some sort of weird drum roll sound animation for himself. And the result ends up being overwhelmingly a Falls Count Anywhere match. Of course. I don't know why anyone would want to see an arm wrestling match ever. EC3. Come on, man. What is this? What do you think this is? Anyway, Anderson attacks both Tyrus and EC3 from the start. He takes both of them outside the ring. He brings EC3 back in the hard way with a suplex. Tyrus pulls Anderson out. Obviously, it's Falls Count Anywhere, so Tyrus can do whatever he wants, and obviously he's going to get involved. He starts to beat Anderson down, but Anderson comes back. He hits a mic check on the ring post. EC3 tries to run away. Anderson catches him. Pinballs him everywhere possible. Anderson with the low blow ends up being a 2 count. He piles a bunch of chairs on the ramp and we get a nice rolling senton onto the chairs. Ow. He tries to go for the mic check again, but that's reversed. And then EC3 does a back body drop onto the ramp. Mr. Anderson took that like a champ. I love it. Then he spits on Mr. Anderson, and laws of underground laws of wrestling, you have to let the spit just stay there. So spits on Mr. Anderson. It stays there for a second. I don't think he wiped it off. He just said screw it. But then Anderson comes back with a rolling senton onto the chair pile again for 2. Anderson gets his momentum going, but Tyrus gets involved again. He hits I don't even know what to call the thing. It looks like the Samoan Spike, but it's like not as good as the Samoan Spike. I guess we're calling it the club. That's what I'm going to call it. The club by Tyrus leads to a 3 count for EC3. So EC3 is still undefeated. There wasn't a lot of weapon usage, I don't think, in this match for a Falls Count Anywhere match. But I don't know. You never know what you're going to get with Falls Count Anywhere matches in wrestling today. Like, you're either going to get a lot of weapons or you're going to get, like, let me grab this chair real quick, maybe a kendo stick or something, So you never really know what you're going to get with these Falls Count Anywhere matches as far as weapon selection goes. But, I mean, I thought it was a pretty good match. I don't know why. I'm kind of confused on why Mr. Anderson didn't, try to select a more, enclosed structure for this, just because to try to keep Tyrus out. Maybe later in the future, I think they're going to keep this going. So maybe at Slammiversary, they'll do like a 6 sides of steel. Or, Dixie Carter, listen up. I tweeted at you. You didn't get back to me. So you better listen. They can bring back the Asylum because that's more enclosed than a cage is. And there you go. We can have the Asylum cage back again. And that could keep Tyrus out permanently. So, I don't know. I'm just hoping for more from this feud. I'm excited to see what they're going to do. Looks like EC3's arm is healing up, so that's good. Any thoughts on the Falls Count Anywhere match or the things that happened before it? With
it was a good match. Even though Anderson had, pretty good control of the match, it still was a lot like a handicap match, I felt like, just with Tyrus getting involved so much. But then again, a bunch of Tyrus's moves and kind of sells tonight looked really bad to me. They just didn't look good at all. But the fireman's carry rollover onto the chairs was awesome. I really like that. The ending didn't seem right to me. I kind of expected Anderson to kick out there. It didn't seem like that was enough to beat him. Even though I did expect, EC3 to win. It didn't seem right. That was one of the endings in this show that didn't seem right to me. I was like, wait, shouldn't he kick out at least one more time? And then, because it didn't, especially for a Falls Count Anywhere match, you expect a real brutal, almost like a last man standing match where you have to really beat your opponent down to win. And it just didn't feel like there was enough in this match. But again, that could be building up to more matches, a longer feud for them. Hopefully, because I think they, like I've said in the past couple weeks, they do work well together, both in the ring and on the mic. They kind of complement each other in that way. But I'm excited. They could do a lot with this feud, I feel like.
I agree. So next, this is where I had actually started the show, and then I decided to not start the show here with Angle and Bully backstage. Angle says, it's been a while. He said, EY has hurt a lot of people. But he says, are you going to call this down the middle? And Bully says, infamously, Kurt, do you know who I am? And walks away. So I kind of like this. Just because I had a reason for liking it, and then I forgot it, actually. But I did like this, though. I definitely liked this. It was subtle. So that's all I remember from what I was going to say. Any thoughts on this?
All right. I I like this too. I like the subtlety of it because it's kind of a comment that he made that, do you know who I am? Which could go both ways. They've known each other for years, so um, it could be him calling it down the middle, or it could be the heel Bully Ray comes out and stabs him in the back. So it's kind of it was kind of a puzzle there, that Angle had to kind of figure out, or the fans had to figure out, like, oh, what's going to happen, um, which was part of why I feel like it was a good idea that they did pick a guy like Bully Ray as the special guest referee, because he is so, mysterious as to which Bully Ray you're going to get. Is he going to get the Bully Ray that is going to call it down the middle, or are you going to get the Bully Ray who's, going to, do whatever he wants? But, it was pretty cool backstage segment.
Yeah, and I really, I like the "Do you know who I am" thing kind of solidified that Bully. He has had this like special referee past, I guess you could say. Even last year, he turned on Dixie Carter um, for MVP. So, he kind of, it was subtle and. But next we got Gail, Cam, and Awesome Kong, also backstage in another area. Um, Kim says, "Kong, I know we haven't really been on the same page, but Tayan has made a mockery of me in this business. Are you with me tonight?" And Kong turns around, she looks up, and then she walks away. So kind of still establishing that mysterious Awesome Kong type of a thing, where she doesn't say too much, but she's she doesn't really say too much, but you'll learn later on. So any thoughts on Gail Kim and Awesome Kong backstage at all?
Yeah, I liked it. I thought she did shake her head, though. I know she didn't say anything, but I thought she shook her head. But it was just cool, kind of. I like the idea of this match coming up. The bitter enemies coming together to fight a common enemy. We'll get to it, but I didn't necessarily like the match itself that much. But the build up to it was pretty cool.
All right, so next we got a BDC promo. The BDC comes out with some sort of ridiculous headdress on. At least MVP with whatever that mask was he had on. We would figure it out a little bit. I think this is kind of when you found out it was live, when MVP, because you never know what MVP is going to say anyway. Besides, say that, but you never know. Other than flat skin, you never really know what MVP is going to say. So MVP says tonight on Destination America, Impact Wrestling is live, and because it's live, I'm going to say some things that are not really, kosher. He said this mask belongs to my boy Homicide. Somebody blindsided him, blindsided my boy. He says, I'm not saying that the Rising hangs out in the Bronx or anything, but this does not fly. What I'm confused about is that you cheer for things like that. Now, we, the BDC, do what we want to do. You take what we want to take, and you act like you don't know. He said, and you call us thugs. You call us thugs. He says, you act like you don't know that thug is code word for, said some words there. No, I'm not going to say it because I don't want to get banned and everything. And I was like, oh, all right, MVP. I mean, they beeped it out. So good work on the guy he must have been like, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. Beep it. Just beep it. Hurry up. And then went out there and said it. Because I don't know how he would have caught that. Because I wasn't expecting it at all. But the Rising comes out. Drew says, I know you're upset. If one of my boys got jumped, I would be upset too. You know that the streets are not my playground. That is my playground, talking about the ring. He says, we had nothing to do with it. Maybe you should be looking at home field. We only care. And then MVP comes back. He says, we only care about being champions, and I care about interest rates. So basically, at this point, I didn't write everything he said down, but he said, we don't care about professional wrestling. We care about our money. We care about, all of that thing. Things that gangs really care about. You don't really care about the people you're hurting. You just care about, the money that you're getting. He says the Rising finishes now. Come collect this beat down boy. A fight breaks out, but the Rising stands tall, and we go to commercial. Any thoughts on this promo here? MVP and
It was a good promo. I liked it. Kind of built up the feud a little bit more. Maybe they're going to use Homicide being jumped as a way to kind of bring it back to a 3-on-3 feud. I don't know. I haven't really looked to see like on the news sites to see why he wasn't there exactly. But and he is kind of periodically there too. He's not there all the time, I feel like. So maybe they're just kind of getting rid of him in the BDC because I feel like Homicide in there doesn't really help or take away from them. It's just kind of an extra member. But I like the promo. I like any promo between these two groups. And especially like I said, their video packages that they do, they're just cool. Drew Galloway really knows how to talk on the mic. Unfortunately, WWE didn't give him much opportunity to do so. So I was just ready for this match. At first, I thought it was going to be a 6-man tag for some reason with the fight breaking out, but then turned out to be just MVP versus Drew Galloway, which was cool.
Yeah, MVP does not really care. And I like, that they kind of let him say what he wanted to say because it kind of shows again that the BDC does what they want to, as their shirt says. They do what they want to do because they can. Kind of, emphasizes that fact, which is a cool thing. Next, we get MVP versus Drew Galloway. MVP is kind of in control early. He works the arm a little bit, which I noticed. They start to trade kicks. Drew kicks MVP out of the ring. MVP comes back, but then he throws Drew into the guardrail. MVP starts to play mind games with all the Rising while they're outside of the ring. He continues to work on that arm. He tries to go for the playmaker. Then there's a little bit of a combination that ends up with the future shock for the win by Drew Galloway. After the match, EY comes out with a chair and he just takes out the Rising. Along with the BDC. So I don't know what they're doing there. I think they were just setting up for the title match tonight, more so than like in the future, maybe. Any thoughts on the match in general?
It was a pretty good one-on-one match. I was surprised there wasn't really a lot of interference in this match between either team. They kind of fought on the outside, but they didn't really get involved in the match itself that much. I didn't feel like. Really nice roll through kind of future shock DDT. It wasn't just the regular, it was kind of a roll through into the pin, which was cool. The ending of this match seemed a little weird to me. It seemed like a weird pause, after the match before EY came out. Like nothing happened, and then he came out, and then he kind of paused too before he did anything. And it was like, what's like? Are these pauses supposed to be in there, or is it just because it's live? It was just weird to me. And it was also kind of weird that EY came out. I was trying to figure out what was going on there because I don't know. But it was cool. It was a good match. I would like to see more one-on-ones between MVP and Drew Galloway, and then the other members of the BDC and the Rising, because they work well together. You don't always have to have the interference to have a good match.
Alrighty, so next we go backstage, and James Storm, he says he has a special gift for a very special friend. He's carrying a nice-sized box to the ring. And you got any thoughts on that?
No, but I do have I don't know if you saw it because I think you watched it online. But there was a kind of a what the fuck moment for me because there was a Kurt Angle commercial saying, he's an Olympic gold medalist and he's the world heavyweight champion and he has only one question: who's next? I was like, are they ruining the show for us? Are they telling us the outcome of the main event and that he's still champion right now? Even on a live show, they managed to ruin next week. Why? I just hated that. I was like, stop telling us what happens.
Yeah, I did see that. I saw that a couple of times. Well, I was watching it because I had it paused down my grandma's house, and I was skipping through the commercials, and I happened to see it, and I was like, I kind of want to watch this at least one time. So I watched it, and I was like, what? I feel like, I don't know if it's TNA doing it, because I don't remember TNA doing this before.
Yeah.
I feel like it's Destination America doing it. They're really big on Kurt Angle anyway, so I don't really know. I don't know. Obviously, this means Goldberg is coming to TNA.
Well, yeah.
But after that, we got James Storm and gift giving and such because it's Christmas with the James Storm. Not really. Maybe it's Mickey's birthday, or James is just excited to hang out with Mickey again. It's been a while. Storm says, I could come out here and I could talk about a lot of things, but I want to shift the spotlight to someone who truly deserves it. And he says, that's Mickie James. She comes out. He says, I know that you're transitioning your life. God bless mothers. You promised these people one more match, and one thing I want to celebrate is your music. I got you a little gift. He grabs the big box. He says, it's a guitar. Well, he didn't say it was a guitar. I said it was a guitar. Oh, it's a guitar. He says, I just want to say thank you. Storm starts singing horribly. I can put him in like the Blake and Murphy category of singing to like never do it again. He gets immediately booed after that. He says, we need to take a giant selfie, which was not true at all considering the, selfie one-on-one. You got to take yourself, not let the cameraman take you. But anyway, I just thought, someone would pick up on that, right? But Magnus comes out, and James Storm says to him, don't come out here and ruin the party. I have a little gift for you, too. He brings out, I think it was an old, mask that Magnus used to wear in one of his old gimmicks. Magnus is walking away angrily, and he says, I kind of like that gimmick. After walking up the gift for your son, Donovan, he says, and you can say it's from good old Uncle Storm. I don't even remember what it was, actually. But Magnus is not having that. Comes in, grabs Mickey's, new guitar, and Jeff Jarrett's James Storm's hit. So there we go. We got a little. I guess they're still building to this feud, this whole personal thing with Magnus and everyone else. I don't know. Still don't know what they're gonna do with Mickey though, as far as one more match and stuff. Are they gonna really do one more match, or is it gonna be something where James Storm gets involved and then Magnus comes in and is like, no. I don't know. I'm interested to see what they're going to do about that, though. Any thoughts on James Storm, being Santa for the night?
The only thing I took away from this was anytime I've ever seen like a guitar shot, it seems like the guitar breaks pretty easily. It's just one quick shot. For some reason, maybe it's just the sound that it made. It seemed really sturdy and didn't seem like it broke very well over James' head. But then you see the kind of sick smile from him. So obviously he has some sort of plan. Something's going on in that head. But I don't know what they're doing with this whole storyline. It's confusing a little bit.
Alrighty, so next we're backstage with the BDC. He says, "I know what we're capable of." It's MVP again. I want what is owed to me. I want the World Heavyweight Championship. Last time we did business, actually this was EY and the BDC. He says, "Last time we did business, we took the title from Rude, and now we're going to take it from Angle." And I love how as he was walking away, Kenny King said, "I thought we were done with Looney Tunes." So Kenny King making those jokes. Good work, Kenny. Then after that, we got a video package on Gail and her husband, and she noticed that Taryn was there and she was not happy. So, any thoughts on those two things? I'll go talk about them.
I did not like this video package at all because it off with actual backstage footage of Robert Irvine's kind of show, whatever, and then it goes into clearly TNA, set up backstage. Just the video quality between the two was completely different. I just didn't like it that way. They should have made it a little bit more smooth to make you think, oh, this actually happened, blah blah blah. But it seemed really gimmicky and stupid. I just didn't like it.
All right. Let's look at Knockouts promo. It was just a video package on the Knockouts. I thought it was kind of a cool thing. I don't know if I said anything about that. I forgot if I did or not. But any thoughts on that?
I thought it was pretty cool. Just kind of did more in 6 seconds for the Knockouts division than WWE has done for the Divas division in 15 years. It actually shows that TNA wants to care about their Knockouts division. It's giving them a little kind of promo, shouting them out there, which was cool.
All right, so since you love this match so much, I'm gonna let you take the Dollhouse versus Gail Kim and Awesome Kong.
All right. So yes, we get the Dollhouse versus Gail Kim and Awesome Kong. The beginning of the match, Jade did hit Gail Kim from behind. We did see a little bit of confrontation between Gail Kim and Awesome Kong, to which the Dollhouse mocked them a little bit. And then Gail Kim and Awesome Kong attacked them. Something about this match to me wasn't quite as kind of epic and intense as I thought it would be. But I mean, it was a great match. I think when you see that Gail Kim and Awesome Kong are teaming up, you expect this awesome, amazing match. And I felt like parts of it were a little bit sloppy still, and it wasn't that great of a match. But I also felt like it gave the Dollhouse a chance to show more of what they could do in the ring, especially against two big names like Gail Kim and Awesome Kong. You don't always get the opportunity to really show what you can do against big names like that, which was cool. We get Dollhouse obviously win because they're kind of trying to push them right now. But after the match, Marty Bell was caught between Gail Kim and Awesome Kong, and they kind of attack her, which was kind of cool. What did you think of this okay match? I'm not going to say it was horrible, but I thought it could have been a lot better than it was.
Yeah, I thought it was just okay. I don't know if maybe they're trying to not make it too good, so we can be like, so I can just get better, maybe. Because I don't know if they really showed us a lot here with anyone in this match. Because I'm more intrigued with Marty and Jade because they are newer. So I'm more intrigued to see what they can do more so than I am with Taryn, um, Kim, or Kong. So I don't know. I just want to see more from this. See what they're going to do with this. Also, what are they going to do with the title as far as what that's concerned when that becomes a factor too. So after that, we get a flashback um, to Matt and Jeff Hardy kind of winning the titles. And then we kind of get the video as Josh Matthews is kind of commentating over a little bit. Not necessarily commentating, just telling us what's going on about the news and everything of Jeff Hardy breaking his leg. And then he asks what's next for the title. And then after that, we go backstage with Magnus and Mickey. Mickey says, "You promised me that you would keep your cool." Magnus says, "I don't trust this guy. He disrespected me." Mickey comes back and says, "Well, I feel disrespected. I feel like you disrespected me. So now what do we do?" So any thoughts on the Matt and Jeff Hardy just initial video package and stuff like that? And also, or it was more so, I think it was when Matt came up and picked up the title as they were laying down on the ground, something like that. Any thoughts on that or the backstage with Mickey and Magnus thing?
I don't know what TNA is going to do with their tag division anymore. It's we have the Madden curse, so anyone who's on the cover of Madden gets hurt. So now we have the TNA tag team titles curse. So anybody who wins the tag team titles, one of them is going to get hurt. It just sucks. It did set up a pretty cool match or series that we're going to be getting. And I was kind of surprised on the return we got of Eddie Edwards. I was like, wait, they said that his heel was completely broken in half. How is he back so quick? Which worries me because I feel like he's not healed 100%. I feel like, they just needed, him to come back. So but I don't know. Maybe he is fully recovered. Maybe it wasn't as bad as they said it was. And then the backstage, nothing really about that. But I'm just kind of wondering what they're gonna do with the tag titles. Like I said, I'm excited for the series that was set up, the best of 5 series between the Dirty Heels and the Wolves. So that'll be cool. But I feel like that's only because they're the only tag team really that they have left right now. I think they're the only 2 tag teams that they have since the Bromance broke up. There's not really anyone else right now.
All right. Yeah, and definitely, sets up an exciting thing. I think it kind of threw away their idea of maybe Davey Richards getting the X Division title. I don't know if that was an idea, but it seemed like it. The way he was going, it seemed like they were maybe leaning towards that direction. I guess they kind of had to throw that away too. But I really wouldn't be surprised with that situation if the Wolves don't win it either. I would maybe expect them to let the Dirty Heels get it, considering it's been a while with them, more so where the Wolves, they just kind of, literally like just won it. That's what they were. So now we get kind of a state of the tag team championship type of a thing. I'm not going to go through this because we kind of went through everything that happened just now. More so, it just set up the series that we're going to get with. Comes out surprisingly to everyone. He kind of comes out. I was thinking actually Davey to introduce like another partner or somebody he like worked with, previously or something to take Eddie's place for the time being, but it ended up being Eddie Edwards and we're gonna get a best of 5 series between the Wolves and the Dirty Heels. So that's a cool thing. I'm trying to figure out when this is gonna start. Are they gonna kind of give Eddie Edwards a little bit more time to heal a little bit and maybe not until later? Or are they setting it up to maybe end at Slammiversary? I think that could happen too. I think that's in 28th of June, I think it is, so next month. A little bit over a month away. So, maybe they'll do that. Do you have any more thoughts on that?
No. I'm just curious to see, like you said, when they're gonna start this. What's gonna go on. Just because I am worried about Eddie Edwards' heel right now. If it, like I said, if it was broken as bad as they said it was, I don't want him to rush back and cause more damage. But we'll see.
All right, so next we get Matt Hardy. He's kind of leaving. Shout out to TNA for keeping his pants on him, unlike they did with EY a couple of weeks ago, as Casey pointed out. But Drew comes up. He says, "Look at the big picture. Things are so unpredictable. I respect you, Matt, and I know you got to figure things out." He says, "We are very alike, and none of us will walk away from a fight." None of us will walk away from a fight. So this kind of intrigued me a little bit with Matt Hardy because I know Jeff Hardy is going to be out for, I think, 2 months. I think it was 2+ months. And I was like, somewhat need a 4th member. But I was like, I don't know if they would put Matt Hardy in that situation, but they really wouldn't have anything to do with him. They really wouldn't have anything to do with him, just because I don't see him doing a lot of singles runs with TNA. So I don't know. Any thoughts on Matt Hardy leaving with his pants?
Yeah, with his pants. But he doesn't. He doesn't wrestle without pants. So Yeah. I don't know. This was intriguing. It would be cool to see him join up with the Rising, to fight for. I mean, it would kind of make sense in a way because, we know the history with Matt and Jeff Hardy. Growing up loving professional wrestling, so he would fit in the Rising, trying to support the fans and support the professional wrestling. But how they would do it storyline wise would kind of be hard a little bit because he goes from tag team to, in a feud with the BDC when he hasn't had any issues with the BDC yet, really. But.
Yeah, I was thinking about this just now. Imagine MVP versus Matt Hardy in 2015. That just, I'm thinking about that. I'm like, I remember that feud that had the U.S. title, I think it was, with the whole pizza eating contest and all of that stuff. It just brings me back a little bit. All right, so next we get an Angelina Love promo. If Ryan was with me, actually watching the show with me, he would have walked out, made a sandwich, came back, and been upset.
I was.
But she says,
"Was during this part, I was like, wait, we got to get Ryan. Where's Ryan
at?" She says, she's out here to talk about herself. She talks about she's the record-breaking 6-time Knockouts champion and the only beautiful person remaining, which should have cued me in immediately what was going down right now. But anyway, she says she's the greatest knockout ever. The camera pans over and it's Velvet Sky with a new hairdo and slightly less, not as tan. Interesting. She walks in. Angelina, she says, "You seem mad. I know it looked like I was happy, but I really wasn't. Are you back? Excited?" And then she hugs Velvet. She says, "You got a problem?" It's still Angelina Love talking. She says, "You're nothing without me. Say something." And then Velvet hits a spear on her and then chokes her, and then that gets broken up. And she kind of had this like weird stare throughout the whole thing. She was noticeably paler, as Angelina Love pointed out. I wonder what they're doing with this, because they did point out that she's not a part of the TNA roster. When I looked at the roster page, she was still on part of the alumni. So maybe they're going to start something with her and Angelina Love. I don't know. For some reason, I kind of like this new Velvet Sky look. It's different than what we're used to. Casey does not agree. But any thoughts on that?
I was immediately disappointed when I saw Angelina Love out doing a promo, and I was like, this can't get any worse. Why? And then Velvet Sky, I was like, damn it. TNA gets to a point where their Knockouts division starts to get really good, and then they're like, nope, it's getting too good. Let's bring back the shitty ones back. And I kind of gave it the benefit of the doubt at first. I was like, okay, maybe she's been gone for a while, maybe she has gone a little bit better. And then she starts to back up a little bit, and I was like, yep, she's going to do the really bad tackle and then the hair pull head thing that she always does. And she did it, and I was like, yep, we are getting the exact same Velvet Sky, just paler and with different hair. I don't know. We'll see where they go with this. Hopefully we'll get better matches from them, but we've been hoping that with these two for a while, and we never seem to get anything better than So,
all right. So next we get a video package on Eric Young last week. Because I want to know if you're going to screw me. Then he's talking to Bully Ray. I want to know if you're going to screw me. Or are you going to stab me in the back? I don't care. Bully Ray retaliates and says, I don't care what you do. I'm here to raise your hand or raise his. So Bully Ray is going to just be there to count to 3. More so raise someone's hand. Any thoughts on that before we get to the main events of the evening?
No. It's again interesting. Kind of wondering what Bully Ray is gonna do, but I was just ready for the main event by this point to see what happens.
All right. So Eric Young versus Kurt Angle for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship with Bully Ray as a special guest referee. It's a very technical start, which is, not surprising with these two guys. But EY kind of turns on the aggression, turns on that smash mouth heel style that he has now. He gets called to belly to belly, but EY, still at this point has the advantage, not letting Kurt Angle do what he needs to do. EY rakes the eyes. His eye rakes look just ow. Like, it looks like he's like, see no evil. I don't know if I said this before, but that's what it's brutal. He's got the eye rake down. Like, I don't even know if I want to be in there when he does the eye rake. He looks to go up top, but he gets caught by Angle. EY decides to take a breather a little bit, and he takes advantage off of that. The BDC comes out, and they stand on the ramp. EY and Angle start to trade blows. Angle gets the better. He hits 5 Germans in a row. Angle slam gets reversed, but Angle rolls through and locks in the ankle lock. MVP helps EY to grab the rope, and then EY rolls through, and Angle rolls right out of the ring. EY then low blows Bully, which Bully sold that forever. I think EY might have actually caught him because Bully did a terrific job of selling that. The BDC comes in and attacks Angle on the outside while Bully is obviously down. Chris Melendez comes out to help. And then the Rising come out to help him out as the numbers game was getting the advantage. EY's looking for the power driver on Bully. Bully throws him off. Angle hits the Angle slam for 2. EY rolls through the second attempt, and he hits a pile driver on Angle for 2. EY goes for a crossbody to end it all, but misses that. Angle locks in the ankle lock. He sits down on it, grapevines the leg for the win. So Kurt Angle is still your TNA World Heavyweight Champion. I like this match. I did. I like EY and Angle. Two very good wrestlers in the ring. And EY should calm down just slightly with that irate. It hurts a lot. Hurts me personally watching it. So, any thoughts on the main event?
Good match. I didn't think it was quite as good, at least like stipulation wise, as last week's stretcher match. Special guest referee matches can either be really good or really boring. And I felt like this one, I expected more from Bully Ray for some reason. But he did let them basically do whatever they wanted. He just wanted a winner. Then after everyone got involved, it felt like the match got a little weird, a little out of hand. I don't know, something was off about it. But Angle's first successful Angle slam that he actually got off, it almost looked like EY was going for a counter, like some sort of cutter for a second there. So I don't know if that was miscommunication. And I also feel like I was going to say this earlier with EY getting involved with the BDC match. I feel like TNA gets too many people involved in too many storylines at once, and it just gets all chaotic. You can't have every superstar involved in every storyline. It just doesn't work, which is why this was kind of a little bit chaotic to me. But as the video package earlier commercial ruined it for us, we knew Angle retained, which is cool. It builds up more. I don't know what else they're going to do with this. Whether they're going to have another stipulation match or, what's going on with that. But I don't know if they're actually going to give EY back the title, but it was a good match. I like EY and Kurt Angle together. They do good matches together. Just the stipulation and everyone getting involved kind of made it weird for me. But I like this match.
All right. And also, as I was watching this match, I'm like almost at the end, and I was a little bit behind on the recording, and the recording stopped and decided to switch to live TV. So I look up, and Kurt Angle's holding the title up, and I'm like, no, I didn't see the rest of it yet. So I had to go back through and fast forward all the way back to that point again. So, not only did the little advertisement do it for me, but so did the recording. But so no luck. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Real quick, I'm going to read some comments because we got them, and I shall read them. LB Clash of Kings, of course, typical. LB Clash of Kings says, Taryn is doing great as a heel. I love the backstage segment with Gail. It was brilliant. And I love the Dollhouse versus Kim and Kong match. Dirty heels, I want to win the tag belt. He says he loves Velvet Sky's new biker chick look. And lastly, we need Spud as our greatest world champ in history, pro wrestling history.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely EC3, the hardcore icon of all wins and no losses. Anyway, LB says one more. He says, I like this new crazy EY. I would be okay for TNA to put the world title on this EY. I can't remember when the last time we had. Okay, probably Lashley. Then thinking about world champion, but Lashley didn't say anything. I feel like EY would say things, and it would make it more interesting too. Next, we got Clover Cold 89. He says, "Good show. Storm and Magnus feud is really good. The Wolves and Dirty Heels series should be great. The Dollhouse is getting Getting the win over Gail and Kong was good. So thanks for the comments, people. Love you guys. That is it. That's all we got for you. That's all I got. It's the show. It's over. Bye. See you. Leave. No. Hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't already because you need to. You're still here. You need to. It's a must. Follow us on the Twitter podcast thingamabobber. Do that. It's a nice thing. The least you can do. Something. Do it. Go. Bye. See you. Hope you enjoy. Bye.